Good morning, buenos días por todos quien habla español solamente, pero aquí soy en Vasconia de Perita, me llamo Tobin, for los nuevos, for everybody that's been here before, thank you for continuing to be patrons of my YouTube and social media channels. I appreciate you very much. Something I haven't done in a couple years, the nature of this video. Normally you see me playing with plants and growing trees and harvesting fruits. Today, and for the past few weeks and for the coming few weeks, I am renovating the guest house. So this was a home on my property at the Jungle Temple here, just to explain a little back history for anybody new to my channel and also for people that have been here for a while. For the past couple of years, I've really just been focused on the food forest, but I was very lucky to buy a property that had 6 buildings on it. So I have my main house, which you see in most of the videos. I also have a detached kitchen building, which is my estimate about 600-700 square feet. Again, just an estimate. And that building's really cool. You'll actually see that in future videos over the next year or two, because it's where I do a lot of food preparation, and I have a kind of, there's a cow in the background and you'll hear the chickens, little distraction, and Buddy, the dog, barking. But anyway, back to the point. The kitchen building is where I do a lot of food preparation. I have like a dryer, so I dry out the turmeric and the herbs and things like that, and pineapple and coconut slices for long-term preservation for foods, and also for breaking things down into like polvo, into powders. So, we've got many guests today. The nature of this video is to finally show you some of the renovations I'm doing. So you'll see behind me, let me get back into the buildings a little bit. So I have this building, it's a guest home, it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. In my first year here, I had the floors redone, so you can see we've got nice tile floors, but this was a building, let me straighten this out a little bit, that was completely unfinished when I moved in here. It was literally just concrete walls and a roof. And they had put in, the previous owners had put in a kind of tacky plastic ceiling that, as you can see, I have removed. So part of this video is going to show me removing the rest of it, which I think you could see up there. See, it has like this shiny plastic. So a little backstory. The people that I brought the property from were in debt. They owed a lot of money to other people. They also ran out of money. Nobody in the family worked. And they all kind of just sat here for 15 years, letting these buildings dilapidate. This was one of them. I think they had started to have an idea to build this guest home, maybe for one of their kids, but it never came to fruition. So it was just sitting here for maybe 5-10 years, just the walls and the roof and that ceiling. So, I started to renovate this when I first moved in, thinking, let me do an Airbnb. And then I looked into Airbnbs and, you know, some of the, let's say, cons of having an Airbnb, which was having tenants that would destroy things and leave messes, and the amount of maintenance and taxes you have to pay for, you know, maintaining an Airbnb. I just thought, let me not overwhelm myself. Let me focus on the food forest and build more of an eco-village where I, over a long period, have deep conversations with people that are interested in living in like an eco community, and at some point somebody can inherit this home or invest in this home, I should say, become kind of a minority partner or shareholder in my business here. And I have several other buildings. So the next building you'll see me renovating is the restaurant, which will become like a cafe, kind of coffee shop mixed with like a small farmer's market. For those of you that are from the New York, New Jersey area where I'm from, think of Penning's Farm and their farm stand that has a restaurant attached and like a little store and a vivero, like a fruit tree nursery or a nursery in general for flowers. That's the concept that I'm looking to implement here on my property, and it's begun with the fruit tree nursery, and now obviously expanding the eco community and eco village into this home. So this is the first one that I'm renovating. What I've been doing recently is you'll see the raw concrete walls. I've been applying this material, which is in the United States, we would call it drywall. Here it's called Muro Seco, made by a company named Repamax. So I always call it Repamax. If you hear me saying Repamax in the video, it means Muro Seco. And I'm applying this, it's kind of like a spackle in a sense. It's a seal for the wall, but also with sandpaper, it's gonna smooth out really nicely, so become like a formal wall, and then we'll paint it whatever color or murals that my friend Sunny, if you're tuning in, this video is for you, and thank you for your help with the renovations. Here's some of the progress. So I'm removing all these ceilings. One, because I don't like plastic. I don't do any plastic anywhere in my life really. So, and I try to recycle as much plastic as I find. This would just be kind of pointless to have plastic here. And as you see, when we open the ceilings up, there's a lot more room and even better, airflow, circulation. If anybody knows the tropics, you want airflow, circulation, because stagnant air can destroy you. It just shuts you down, shuts down our system, and you just want to sleep through it, and that's not healthy. So what I'm going to be doing, let me turn the camera around a little bit, is somewhere up here, I'm going to cut out and put some vents of sorts. Not necessarily like electric vents, but probably just like a screen window so that air can cross ventilate top to bottom. But also, as you see, I have big windows in here. So there were no windows when I came into the property. I had these installed by a local guy. I actually don't know his real name, but he goes by Flacco. Here people have second names, like nicknames. Flacco means skinny. So he's just the tall, thin guy. He does windows out of Los Angeles, of Rica. So in my first year, I paid for these to be done. I actually just went to the hardware store yesterday to get kind of new materials. I got a bunch of concrete. I'm gonna build patios outside the front and back door. Here I'm gonna fill with like a polyfoam, and that's gonna seal that. But these windows are really nice. Obviously they can open and close, and then I have screens here. So lots of circulation. You'll see in the background, I've got lots of plantains, bananas, papaya planted. There's a giant guanabana tree. So yeah, I just wanted to tune everybody in to the updates that are happening. You're gonna see little clips of me doing some of the Muro Seco, some of the walls today. Also in this video, you're gonna see me removing the plastic ceiling. And then eventually, I'll be sealing underneath all the windows where the little gaps are. I'll be doing the patios outside and a few other things. So thank you for tuning in. I'm getting back into the renovations, the construction. After this video, you'll see me doing renovations on the restaurant, and then hopefully soon we'll be open with that. Obviously, that's more of a money generator, but also bringing a good community in here and offering something to Vasconia that they haven't had before. There's only one other restaurant in this area, and it's run by Lulo. If you guys are ever in Vasconia, there's a wonderful seafood restaurant, Mariscaria Jimena's, down towards Pozo Azul, right on the edge of the river. So it's a beautiful restaurant to eat. You've got the sounds of the river, and you can see the river from there. And I will have a cafe, which will be eventually kind of like a Michelin star type restaurant menu, in the sense that we won't have a menu that you can choose from. We will have a 10 or 12 course chef's table, in a sense, based on what we're harvesting that week, that month, that season from the property. And I will have local chefs, Tico chefs, that will be customizing the dishes based on what we are able to harvest here on the property without having to go outside and buy any ingredients. But anyway, with all that said, here are some of my materials for the day. We've got the Repamax Muro Seco, a bucket to mix. I've got my water bucket here, and you can see the floor is really nice. It's beautiful. So we got that done. The windows are done. Now I'm just finishing up the walls. We're gonna open this ceiling up so it's got nice ventilation and circulation, and get rid of the plastic. I actually am buying 3 ceiling fans that will drop down, and they have lights on them, so it's gonna take care of lighting and even more circulation and breeze. We'll have one in this area. We'll have one in the master bedroom behind the camera. And then there's actually a guest room over here. So that's the guest room. And lots of windows, lots of light, lots of air. And then the bathroom is here. I'm just finishing the Muro Secco on the walls. I've got one wall done. As you can see, we've tiled the entire shower, floor to ceiling. So it's a really nice shower. And I've got to do this wall still behind the toilet and the sink. And of course, I'm going to be hooking plumbing up soon. So I have all the plumbing materials, all the tubes, pipes, we should say, in my restaurant space. Very soon I'm going to be digging trenches and I'm getting the water meter set up in front of the restaurant on this side of the property. So you guys will be tuned in to all of that, I should say, via this video. So that said, let's get into the work. So I forgot to mention that I also bought doors and I bought some stains, so that's getting delivered today. And we have the chicken babies here. Hello, sweetie. Hi. Hello. These are the egg producers, so they're providing about 15, 20 eggs every day. They're very sweet. They know their daddy. They come say hi to me every day. The dogs get along with them. You've seen them in previous videos, but they're all grown up now, producing eggs and enjoying life. Hello. Hello. If you guys don't have chickens and you have space for chickens, I highly recommend it. Not only are they a cool, helpful animal that cleans up the land and takes care of pests, but as you can see, they're very sweet. They're very kind of affectionate. They want to be pet. They want attention. They're very intelligent. And yeah, they got great personalities. They're funny. Anyway, doors coming soon. I got another one over here. Ooh, let me see my little tripod stand. So yeah, just cleaning things up. The chickens come and help me every day. And with no further ado, let me get into finishing the Repamax, the drywall in the bathroom, and then the entire inside of the house is done until I remove the ceiling and then do a little bit up top there, and then I move to the outside of the house. Hey girls, this is a party here today, huh? Chickadee. Making a bit of a mess, but mixing up a little circle. Next bag. Ooh. right, so all mixed up. Let me say first and foremost, I'm teaching myself all of this. I'm learning from YouTube videos and from, you know, my previous life watching people doing construction renovations. I was very lucky, I guess in physical ways, that after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans in the United States, I went with a church group down to try to rebuild, although that was a task that obviously, you know, probably 20 years later still isn't done yet, but it was mostly, you know, demolition of the houses that had gotten destroyed, and then sometimes they were building new houses through this project, St. Bernard's project that I was working with, and I learned plumbing there, I learned some electrical engineering and wiring, and I also learned some things like this, but honestly, this has been trial and error since doing this work in my house. Sometimes I made this too liquidy, sometimes I was making it too hard. What I've learned is the best consistency if you're working with Moro Seco in Costa Rica or Central America, South America, or anywhere, is that it should be around the consistency of like silly putty. Not quite Play-Doh, but more like silly putty, and also not runny, because I can't tell you how much mess I've made on the floors. Thankfully it cleans up easily by having it too runny and too liquidy, you should say. So right now, I've got it to the texture of like silly putty, and yeah, here I go. So these are your tools. You scoop it out of the bucket with that. I like to clean this off so it's not dripping everywhere. You get it on this planer, I don't know what the technical name is for it, and then just start applying it to walls, thinning it out, trying to get all the crevices. I actually have a couple spider webs, so I use this to clean up the walls a little bit so that there's nothing interfering and creating a mess. But I'll do one of these buckets a day. Sometimes I'll do 2 of the buckets depending on how good I feel and if I'm making progress. So it just applies, you smooth it out. And then once this dries, we'll come through with sandpaper, start with a rougher grade, and then just keep getting more fine and fine as time goes on. But I gotta be honest, this is kind of fun. It's like art, it's like painting, it's like sculpting. It's kind of a mix between painting and sculpting, right? So just kind of run it across until it fills all those little gaps. Sometimes I'll scrape, get a more concentrated chunk, and I can get areas like that. Hopefully this is satisfying to watch as well. It's very satisfying to do. To see this bare wall start to take more of a refined form. So for those of you that think all I can do is play football, play basketball, and by football I mean soccer for the global community, and work with plants, that's not all I'm limited to. I try to learn something new every single day of my life, and I encourage everybody out there to do the same. Try to pick up skills, collect skills, it's fun. That's why we're here on this planet. To learn, to grow, to improve. And trust me, I fucking sucked at this when I first started. I was making a mess everywhere, it was frustrating, I wasn't getting the right consistency, but I started to figure it out a little bit. That said, I am no expert, so if you have any advice for me, feel free to leave it in the comments. I always love learning new techniques for everything in life, new strategies, how to improve every aspect of my reality. And I know that I don't know everything. And also, the things I do know, I know that I can always improve. I am open to constructive criticism. So, I'm gonna start time-lapsing this so we're not wasting too much time, and you'll see me finish this today and then more to come. Thank you, love you, peace, thank you for tuning in. Back with another day here. So, you've seen me creating some stuff. Now, maybe the fun part, you get to see me destroying some stuff. So, with no further ado, this ceiling's gotta go.
Switch it up!
Now, gotta remove all of these pieces next. So, I'm gonna do that again on the time lapse. I just wanted you to hear a little bit of the destruction. Some people find deconstruction of things, let's not say destruction, demolition of things, AMSR. Did I say that correctly, or is it ASMR? I don't know. I don't watch those videos, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna finish taking those metal bars out, and then it's gonna be wide open up to the ceiling. Eventually we'll throw some paint on there and maybe like a Sistine Chapel type cathedral like mural. Who knows? Okay, so they're all down, as you can see. I'm just gonna drag this out, and then I'm gonna get these cross beams out. But pretty much done. Wide open now, lots of breeze, lots of air. So I think, just for now, I'm gonna call this a day, because there's not much else to do, and it's not too fun to see those cross members removed. But as you can see, the lights are hanging. These are actually all gonna get removed. And we're gonna do ceiling fan here with a light. So this will be a ceiling fan in the future. Like I said, we're gonna paint that ceiling, that roof ceiling. And yeah, so 3 ceiling fans coming in next. Ceilings are all out, making progress. I actually was thinking while I was doing this, I'm gonna part 1 this video because it's getting pretty long already. Stay tuned for part 2, maybe part 3. In part 2, I'm definitely going to be doing the patios. You're gonna see it's gonna be finished all the way to the top of the walls with the Repimax. What else? Patios, Repimax. I'm gonna do the seal and all of the gaps between the windows and the roof, so it's nice and solid in here. And maybe in part 2, we'll have the plumbing being installed as well. I'll do the trenches, install the pipes, and then I would imagine part 3 is going to be the electrical installation with the ceiling fans and getting the lights tuned in, all the plugs, all of that stuff, or the outlets, I should say. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Tobin Osuski signing off, part 1 renovations of the guest home cabin number 1 of the Jungle Temple Ecovillage. Thank you all. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, give me any advice that you think I might benefit from here. Also, if I've inspired you to do renovations in your home or build a project in some type of food forest style community, please let me know. I honestly don't make these videos for my own ego. I make them to inspire other people to live similarly, self-reliantly, self-sufficient lifestyles, growing your own food, raising livestock for the sake of providing food for yourself, your friends, your family, your neighbors. We cannot depend on the system. This is the last thing I have to say. It's 2025. If we look around, or if you're in the future watching this, Google what the heck was happening on planet Earth in 2025. The system that we live in, the matrix, is unreliable. We need to fend for ourselves. We need to create sustainability systems for ourselves, and that's what I hope to inspire here. That's what I've been doing here for 5 years, and now finally, thank goodness, thank the universe, other people are seeing the value of that and getting themselves involved at the Jungle Temple. So thank you for everybody that's a part of my community currently, and in the future, all of you that are magnetized here, whether to live here full-time, part-time, or if you would like to help support my businesses, the fruit tree nursery, the vivero, the restaurant, the fruteria, any products that you can buy from us. I honestly appreciate it so much. And all of my money, everything that I earn, goes right back into the land, right back into sustainability, right back into my community. So I'm very grateful to live here in Vasconia de Perita in Costa Rica. It's a beautiful community, amazing people, and I hope to be a positive contribution to this world. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you.